Hey resellers, thanks so much for tuning in to today's video. I have a what sold for the past week, basically. This is about a week's worth of sales over on eBay, and I actually have, I think, 3 or 4 on Poshmark. So moving on up there in the Posh community, right? I have had my Poshmark for a while. I don't babysit it, I guess, like I should. I just have had trouble this year in 2021 devoting the type of babysitting that Poshmark requires when I could be devoting the same amount of time to other things. So could that change in the future? Yes, quite possibly. Will that change in the future? Yes, quite possibly. I feel like I should either start babysitting that account or close it and cross post somewhere else, Mercari or something. So let me know in the comments below if you're kind of over how Poshmark requires sellers to babysit their accounts and constantly be social on the platform. Because if I want to be social, I come to YouTube and I come to Instagram and I hang out with you guys, like-minded reselling individuals, and not necessarily over on Poshmark. I am interested in selling things there. It would kind of like be the equivalent of if your boss wouldn't let you pick up your paycheck unless you hung around the water cooler for a while to talk to your coworkers, and you really just kind of want to be gone hanging out with your friends somewhere else. Crickets? Anyone else feel me there? All right, without further ado, let's get into what sold. I am playing around with a couple different formats on these what sold videos. I would like to know what you guys prefer and what works best for you. I think my last devoted what sold video, I talked a little bit about the item. I read the title and then I showed you a quick clip of a screenshot of the actual item. I prefer to be able to hold up the item in a tangible way and show you guys what sold. And I guess I could always do that if I filmed them every single day and then like a montage collage at the end of the week and show you what sold. But because I'm trying to give you an entire what sold video for an entire week, so obviously some of those items have already shipped out. So what I'm going to try today, we'll see if this works. Let me know how much you like it or how much you absolutely hate it. And I am going to show you guys on my tablet the screenshot of the item. So I will actually click on here, and then that way I can be able to scroll through multiple photos as well. I might need to turn up the brightness here so that we can really get some crisp photos. So let's get into it. What sold? This looks like this item sold on February 26th. I mentioned this over on my Instagram. This was again in the bottom of a box of things that I bought at an auction. If you hear a lot of running around, that's my beautiful children just being kids and enjoying life. At this auction, I bought a box of phones, a bag of phones rather, and it was like a huge, I mean, think of like a 50-gallon trash bag style. It wasn't that big, but it was big. It was a lot of phones. And in the bottom were these 2 little phone clips. They sold for $13.49 when I was able to determine what phone they went to. These go to this says lot of 2 Panasonic belt clips, and then I have the model numbers that they actually fit because they fit multiple model numbers. So $13.49 with free shipping. Obviously this did not take anything to ship, you know, a couple bucks here. So I'll show you guys. They're just 2 simple little belt clips, and actually I do like this because I can oh, I had 2 photos. Oh my gosh, I can scroll through and show you guys the different photos because I know, and on this one I was showing the model number there. I like to see how people photograph certain items that actually results in a sale. So just a plain white photo and then a photo of me holding it there. I have considered, should I get white gloves like the Japanese sellers that do luxury handbags have the white gloves and you don't have to see their hands? Because y'all, I work outside a lot. I have 2 kids. My nails are not always photograph ready. They're pretty decent right now, but I have considered white gloves. Does any of you guys use like white gloves whenever you're modeling an item? I'm not a hand model, okay? All right, I digress. I'm getting off on tangents. This next item I also featured over my Instagram. If you guys aren't following me over there and you want daily updates on things that sold, you need to follow me. You need to follow me. It's reseller Rachel Strickland over on Instagram. I'll put that down below in the description. But this item, I contacted one of the local thrift stores that I really love, and I asked them if I could dig through the items that they were sending over to recycle, and they said that I could, and I paid them, I want to say they asked me for like $1 a bag. Maybe it was more than that. Maybe it was $5 a bag. It probably was, I don't know, it was cheap. And I saved this from being recycled from the garbage. It is a Lee, let's see how much it sold for, $39 with free shipping. It is a pair of vintage children's Lee overalls. Aren't those adorable? Is that the cutest thing you've ever seen? They were stained, and that is why this thrift store did not put them out. I disclosed the staining. You can see me pointing to a stain there. I like to point out any stains. I lay my clothes flat whenever I measure them. This is actually probably my favorite because I can show you guys what I really do. I have a detail here of the gorgeous vintage Lee button, a gorgeous detail of the pocket. I showed some writing, some staining that was inside here. Pardon me. And then this is a Union label. If you see this Union label inside your vintage clothing, please photograph that and allow buyers to see that as well. I try to take pictures of all tags. These are a size 2, and then it's important it says Made in America there. So yeah, those sold. Oh, and then there's a picture of me showing off another stain. I just want buyers to not be surprised at all when they receive my items. $39, you guys, from something that I saved from the trash. This next item is a pair of shorts that was, these were actually from my closet postnatal. So right after I had my youngest son, I wore these shorts and now they're too big. And so I sold them. So it was really pretty minimal. I mean, I don't know what I spent on them. I'm going to say free. When I sell stuff that's my own, unless it was some huge investment, it's free inventory. Apartment 9 size 14 denim shorts, roll up cuffed, dark stretch, sold for $11.90, you guys. Apartment 9, I think that's like a random JCPenney's brand or something. Absolutely nothing special. And they sold for $11.90 plus $4.80 shipping. I was kind of surprised about that. So here's my photo. I have a little pair of Ray-Ban style sunglasses over here on the side. And then I have, I mean, you can see they're not even in that great a condition. So yeah, I have it again, a flat lay measured. This pocket would not lay flat. And for $11, I was not interested in ironing them. I am showing the waist measurement. I am showing the inseam measurement. I am showing the tag and another tag. $11.90 plus shipping, you guys, for something you could probably find for $1 or $2 at a thrift store. These next 2 sales were actually a total of 14 items that sold. I tell you guys that I have these little sponge holders that I have been selling for $1.89 free shipping, and so I usually just slap a stamp on them. But one day 7 of them sold, and they were all little pigs. And then shortly after, 7 of them sold, and I thought, is that the same buyer? And they were all little pigs. And they actually both sold to buyers in Florida. One was in Naples, Florida, and the other across the state in Miami, Florida. So super interesting. I don't understand like what was going on with pigs that day. But let me just show you guys what they are. So this is actually a photo grid photo. I took this photo and I took this one from the internet, and I kind of just put those together because I felt like this alone would not sell the item and convince you of what it does. It will hold a towel or a sponge. And these I bought retail arbitrage at Walmart for 5 cents. So when 7 of them were lotted together, that was 35-cent investment for me, sold for $13, let's see, and 23 cents. So that times 2, because right after that, 7 more sold. Let's take a pause in the middle of these what solds and talk about what the total sales are that I am going to be discussing with you guys today, because I did run some interesting numbers. So let's talk about those numbers for a moment. I have total today with what the buyer paid for the item plus what the buyer paid for shipping, $843.75. That was for a week's worth of work, you guys, and that is really good on my store, and it is really good for the way that I nearly shut down my store in December. So a lot of revitalization going on over on my eBay, and $843.75 in sales, you guys. I am thrilled about that. If you watched my most recent videos, you will know that I am kind of pivoting from basic clothes especially. I love vintage and designer clothing still, or anything that is super unique, but I am pivoting from basic clothing. So I wanted to know, out of all of the sales, what percent was clothing? 30% of these sales were clothing, which means 60%, you guys, are hard goods. So if you are only sourcing clothing, you're leaving a ton of money on the table. If I'd only had 30% of these sales. And then I wanted to know furthermore, because you're about to see that I shipped some breakables this week. I shipped some breakables you might be scared of. And I want to talk to you a little bit about how I shipped those and encourage you to ship breakables, because of the $843.75, $516.41 were breakable. Guys, over $500 that I would have left at the thrift store, left on the table, not had in my eBay if I were too afraid to ship breakables. So that is 61% of my sales this week. Are you shipping breakable items? What is holding you back from shipping breakable items? Can you get into breakable items with a low buy-in cost? That way, if something were to happen, it's not devastating to your business. Consider it that way. USPS obviously has insurance. They have also a ton of ways to get out of paying for that insurance. I could attest to that firsthand. But typically it works out pretty well. So yeah, 61% of my sales were breakable. Let's get into what those breakables were, and then I'll tell you guys how I packed these items. So this first item was another one of those security monitors that I sold, you guys. This is a Panasonic security monitor, and the buyer even left a note on this. He says, "Hello, please pack this little monitor well. It would be so sad for it to arrive damaged. If it's not too much trouble, thanks in advance." So he was aware this is a pretty breakable item. He paid $26 to ship it, and again, it is a Panasonic security monitor. If you watched my Thrift With Me videos, you saw I picked up 2 of these for $6 a piece. I am showing details on the top. I am showing a little bit of sticker residue or discoloration that is here on the edge. Just showing all of the different angles. This is a plain white background. I wrapped up the cord, and the cord actually says 2 there because I had 2 of these and I wanted to ensure that whichever one the buyer bought, whichever active listing, that they received that monitor. So don't be afraid to include like your inventory in your photos just for your reference. This is a picture of the back to show all the cables and hookups. That is again a picture of my number on there. And then this is a detail of, I want the buyer to know exactly what hooks up to this. I know nothing about the security monitor. I was able to plug it in and test it and make sure that it works, and that is about it. So I am detailing everything. eBay allows 12 photos, and from what I understand, the algorithm encourages more photos the better, and they will suggest your items more. My items are promoted. This monitor sold for $89 plus $26 shipping, you guys. That was not a promoted listing, and I actually think nothing, oh, the belt clips that I showed you so far was the only promoted listing. The only listing that sold via promoted listings, that is, and I will pay an extra 1% to eBay for that. So yeah, $89 for that, guys, plus $26 shipping. It cost me $6, and it was not intimidating to ship at all. Recently, my son did an experiment at school, the classic egg experiment. How can we get this egg to survive a fall? And he had, you know, he wants to be an engineer, and his idea was to wrap it in a car sponge. So he took these 2 car cleaning sponges, hollowed out an area, encased the egg, and then wrapped rubber bands around that, and this thing survived some mighty falls. He brought it home and dropped it from our 2nd story deck. He threw this thing out in the yard at one point and it survived. So that got me to thinking, how can I use that same technology and use it for shipping? And what I purchased that I have been shipping extreme breakables in is a mattress cover. People use these for a lot of different reasons, and I think that they're great shipping supplies. If you have something that is you know, expensive enough that you need to protect it with $10, because this for a twin size is $10, and I cut it up into sections, and you're gonna see an item that was an extreme high dollar sale that I used this $10 cover for. So I had some left over. I did encase the monitor that I just showed you, that security monitor, in this foam. And guys, I'm actually pretty confident that if I wrapped a glass in my house in this and dropped it again off my 2nd story deck, I think it would survive. I don't know, do you want to see that? Maybe I can do a shorts video, a YouTube shorts on, you know, the different ways that you can use a mattress protector. That's all it was, guys. It was $9.98 at Walmart. So I wrapped it around that security monitor. I put it in like a 14 by 10 by 12 box or something, and it was less than the $26 to ship. This next item is a Raggedy Ann vintage 70s 7-inch cotton doll by Knickerbocker is what it says. I don't know why it says by Knickerbocker. I don't know why it says Knickerbocker. I mean, Knickerbocker is the style, the little outfit that she's wearing, but anyway. This was in another auction box that I was buying the box for something else, and she was in there. She's teeny tiny. I know, I think Thrifty Yeti maybe picked up one recently that was really similar, but his was quite large. And you can see I lay out plush and anything just so that people know the exact size that they're purchasing. I wouldn't want someone to think that this is the big version. So she's like 7 inches. She is so adorable, and she's missing her outer outfit. I had her listed for $8.60 free shipping. I did receive an item at one one point, or an offer rather, for, gosh, I want to say it was like $3 to $5 with the free shipping. And I messaged back that buyer in the counter offer and explained to them that once I paid eBay fees and paid for their shipping for this item, I would practically be paying them to take this item, and they were not interested in that and countered back at the original offer. So I just let that offer sit and really wasn't interested. I declined their offer. So she sat for another 2 weeks and sold for full price to a buyer that appreciated her for $8.60 with free shipping. Here's my extremely breakable item. I was at the thrift store one day with both of my children, and I found some dishes. And actually, hang on just a second, because I have these dishes. I have a couple pieces of them I want to show you guys real quick. Pardon me. Okay guys, so sorry, I know that was really random, but I just still have a few pieces of this and I want to show you this label. So these dishes were at the thrift store and there were a ton of them. We're talking 80 some odd, maybe 90 pieces. These, I don't know if the color is going to translate well on this video, but these are matte pink and they are gorgeous. The lines to these dishes, the simplicity, reminded me of something very 80s, and it just looked Malibu Barbie to me. Okay, so there were like 11 or more of these teacup and saucer sets. Here's a little cream pitcher. There were, oh, I don't know, 12 dinner plates. I mean, 90 some odd pieces. And I went and found the manager and I said, how much for these dishes? And I love this thrift store, guys. Everyone in the thrift store knows me, and you know, they'll tell me, hey Rachel, we just got such and such in, and they'll, you know, point me in the direction of the things that they know that I really like, especially for myself. And I said, how much for these dishes? And she said, I'm gonna make you a great deal on them. $25 for the whole set. And I lost it because I wanted these dishes for me, and I had just looked up where a similar set sold for $900 on eBay. So my son and I loaded up, I think we had like 6 or 7 boxes of these dishes that we took out to the car. We loaded up the dishes, and when I got home, I separated out 8 dinner plates for me, 8 salad plates for me, 8 bowls for me. And the rest of it I listed on eBay, and I listed it, I want to say like $700, and then I ended up dropping to like $600. This was a year and a half ago. I end up around $500. I get an offer for $300. I keep getting offers around the $300 mark. But meanwhile, when they're not in sets, like you can sell 2 of the dinner plates for $50 plus shipping. So I started to get a little frustrated, and I thought, I'm just gonna have to take this off and relist it as individual pieces. And I actually messaged the buyer and I said, here's my best price on it. And I want to say I told her like $450 plus shipping. I said, here's my best price. I don't think anyone wants to pay for this entire set. It seems like you can get a lot more parting them out, and that's probably what I'm gonna do. So I'm giving you my best offer, like take it or leave it, essentially. She says, I actually don't want all of the pieces. Would you consider me allowing to pick and choose, or you allowing me to pick and choose certain pieces, and then I can pay you, you know, whatever I can pay? And she said around $300, $350, and I don't even want all the pieces. So I was like, okay, this may be an easy way, because I do not want to do all these listings. I don't want to rephotograph them. I want to get rid of these dishes. Sounds like I'll still have some other ones to sell and maybe make up the $100 or more that I just offered her the entire set for. So she tells me exactly the ones that she wants, and I wrote out on paper how much each one of those pieces were selling for. It was actually around $300 or so. I asked her, because you know there's a service here for me to pick and choose and to collect all these for her. I said $350 plus shipping for all of those. She said my all-in, I'm telling you guys a lot about this, she said my all-in is only $400. You know, can I ship them for that? I said, where are you located at? And of course, you guys, California. Why would she not be located in California, right? I said, oh Lord, I think I can still ship these for $50. If it's more than that, I'll eat the cost and I'll refund it to you. She says, all right, it's a deal. And so I pack up all these items, you guys, and that is what I went and bought this for, because a $10 mattress pad, when I have seen this stuff, respect and protect the fragility of items in the past, including a raw egg. When I have seen it work like that, it was worth spending the $10, like, rather than spending the extra $10 on USPS insurance. And these actually ended up going FedEx. I find that they deliver quicker and they're a bit easier on my items, so they went via FedEx. I refunded the buyer a little bit of shipping. I told her that I would relay my shipping cost, my true shipping cost, because eBay gives you a discount, to her. So I just used the original photo of these dishes. This is how many the original were, and she only took 2 teacups and saucers of the 11, so I still have 9 of those. I still have 2 dinner plates, and I still have the coffee creamer, this piece right here that I just showed you. So here were all of my photos of this listing. I just think that these dishes are so beautiful. She took the coffee mugs too. I probably should have kept the mugs for my own personal collection, but these dishes are just beautiful. And I didn't show you guys the label. How have I not shown you the label? I measure dishes whenever I take pictures of them. Here is the label. Sasaki. Screenshot that because you're going to want to see it. You're going to want to remember this, all right? And these say Colorstone Matte Pink. So it tells me the color. It tells me that it's Colorstone Vignelli Designs made in Japan. Like, these are phenomenal. These are some of the best dishes I've ever come across, and that's why I have them up in my cabinet. And she actually said, I'm moving and I want these dishes, and I will pay whatever I can to get these dishes. And I said, girl, I do not blame you for loving these dishes. They make me feel like Malibu Barbie on a daily basis. And I do use these as my everyday dishes. Like, my family eats on these dishes. So use your pretty things. $350. The buyer paid $47.66 in shipping, but it only cost me like $27, I think. So I refunded her $16.25 because I did want to recoup my cost of the mattress pad. So you guys, that was like the deal of the week. That was my best sale this week that I would not have made if I didn't sell hard goods and if I didn't sell breakables. Extremely breakable. It's supposed to be there today. I will update on Instagram when they arrive in one beautiful piece. And I already messaged her and said, you're going to get these and think, wow, this is really overkill on the packing supplies. But anyway, she said, no, I just want them to arrive in one piece. This next sale is a pair of men's Vans that they're a size 10 and a half. They're a size 10. I bought them for my oldest son. He did not want them. He does skateboard, but he has a pair of Vans for his skateboarding, and he likes the higher top. These were kind of a mid top. So I said, you know, I paid $4 for these. I knew if he didn't want them, I would be able to sell them for more than that. The buyer made me an offer and said, please accept my offer, God bless. And I have God bless on all my listings, and I'm just a sucker for that. If you want a good deal, that's the key. That's how you get a good deal. Tell me God bless or something like that. And he had like little praying hands, and I was like, you know what, $35, free shipping. I paid $4 for them. Like, yes, absolutely, you can get these Vans. So this is an interesting picture of these Vans. This is actually upstairs in my kitchen. I have this like faux brick wall back here, and this is a lucite bar stool that I have. And so I thought that was an interesting way to photograph these, try to make them stand out a little bit from just the white backgrounds. They were not in perfect condition, but they were in really good condition. So again, if someone's willing to pay $35 for used shoes, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, we have to remember we're selling used stuff. For $35 for used shoes, yes, take these shoes. So those sold. That was a good sale. This next item was a pair of panties. Those were not used. And this was actually part of my Walmart retail arbitrage find, where Walmart had clearanced out a ton of items at $1. And so these, I took this photo. Hang on, let me show you. I took this photo, and then I zoomed in to arrive at this photo, and this was the cover photo that I used. These are just an athletic thong. The buyer paid $8 for these. Again, I paid $1. These are a size extra large, size 9, and they also paid $4.80 shipping. So I feel like that's a really good return on my investment. And still, you guys, Raggedy Ann sold via promoted listing. So only 2 things that sold via promoted listing. Those did not. So yeah, $8 plus $4.85 shipping, $12.85 for an item that I paid $1 for. It only cost $3 and something, I'm sure, to mail that. 2 more items real quickly that sold. This vintage 1960s, 1970s handmade floral needlepoint pillow I picked up at a yard sale for 25 cents. corduroy back zip 12 by 12. That is my title. And let me just show you guys. This has so many followers, very little offers, and finally I just got tired of it trying to sell for around $30. Someone offered me 20 bucks last night for it and I took it. There's a picture of the front, there's a picture of the back, misshapen. There's a picture of it on a mid-century chair in my living room to show a styling option. There's a picture again of the back, a picture of the zipper, a picture of some defects where it's missing some needlepoint stitches, a picture of a measurement, how long and how wide it is. So the buyer paid $20 plus $5.50 shipping for that. And again, it was a quarter at a yard sale. I picked up a lot of pillows that day and I can't wait until they all sell. They are all about to go, I think, under $20 just to get them sold. This next item came out of, again, my postnatal maternity clothing. And this was Dupree size large, black long slit sleeve button cuff flow blouse shirt detailed. Good grief, what a description. So this is like a cold shoulder. Why was that not? Seems like that might have been a nice keyword. This is a cold shoulder, very flowy. Again, I used it while I was pregnant, but I didn't want to put maternity in there. Look how detailed the cuffs are. I didn't want to put maternity in there because it's not actually a maternity top. I was just extra and wanted to wear pretty stuff when I was pregnant. It had this really pretty V-neck or V-back, really, detail. That is a measurement, armpit to armpit, and then the length of it, you could almost wear this as a dress. You could definitely wear it as a tunic or something long. This sold for, I took a best offer last night, again, $13 plus $5.50 shipping. So I woke up and had 3 offers and accepted them all because I looked and I said, you know what, if I just accept everything, that's a pretty good sale. And some of this would be in stale inventory, accept. And so I sold stuff while I slept. This next item, you guys, let's just, like, if I could just insert taps right here. I don't know if that's a copywritten song, but just imagine taps playing in the background because I want you to remember one of my previous What Sold videos where I talked about what sold while I slept, and I talked about a certain Dr. Seuss book that sold last week. Oh, to think I saw it on Mulberry Street. I sold last week for $6.99 with free shipping. You heard that right. And all of a sudden this week, the same book is worth $200. Ah, doesn't that just get you in the feels? Well, you guys, that ate me alive. And when I shipped out this next book, I thought, I don't know, should I even send this one? Because truth be told, I wish I could go back in time and, I mean, to think I saw it on Mulberry Street hadn't even arrived at the buyer yet when those prices shot up. I don't know if the buyer's keeping it, you know, and is actually a collector, or, you know, obviously I would sell that book when it came to me. There's nothing I could do about it. I had already shipped it. And the book was not worth that when I sold it. So don't think that I'm ignorant, all right? But when this next one sold, I thought, is this deja vu? I sold this week The Cat in the Hat. Now you can pick this up at Walmart right now all day long for like $7.99 or so. I take a picture of the inside copyright page as well. Sometimes I get a photo of the artwork, and if there are any stickers or anything, like this had a name and also had a price on it, I take pictures of those things. So this sold for $12.99 with free shipping. It was actually a little bit more than a lot of them are selling for right now, so I shipped it. And if The Cat in the Hat next week is worth $300, I'm gonna punch someone, okay? I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna punch anybody, but guys, like, that ate me up that happened. And I saw a couple other people share similar stories, and like Harry Tornado said that he recently redonated a lot of things in his death pile, and one of those items was a stack of Dr. Seuss books. I don't know if those books were in there, but he was kind of sick about that. And then Angie Resells pops up yesterday on Instagram, and she goes to the Goodwill bins and she's like, you're not gonna believe what I found. And she found the daggum book at the Goodwill bins, and my mind was blown, and I was so happy for her. And then she finds a second copy. What? If you're not following her on Instagram, you need to be. Angie Resells. So anyway, $12.99 for The Cat in the Hat, and he better not be worth 12 times that next week. I sold, this item came out of my own kitchen. I bought these, put them in my kitchen thinking I might use them, and I absolutely never did. And I thought, you know what, these should be in the hands of a collector that will use them. Vintage 1950s Pyrex oil and vinegar set mid-century modern jars kitchen. These sold for $10. I actually took a best offer. We negotiated back and forth a little bit. This is on my faux marble countertop in my kitchen. I thought it would be nice to actually photograph these on a countertop. They sold for $10 plus $10 shipping, and this is a picture of the little stopper there is broken on this one, so I wanted to be sure that the buyer saw that and saw the difference and what they should look like. Again, without the stoppers there, any type of markings that I see, and I just like my buyers to see a lot of details. So 9 photos on those, $20 all in, and they got wrapped in some of this as well because I still pardon me, had extra. The next item that sold, I purchased 7 years ago. I'm just kidding, but it feels that way. I had this item, to be fair, for a little while before I listed it, a long while. This is a vintage 1953, I will butcher the name here, Selcho and Ryder Scrabble game, incomplete. So this is an incomplete vintage Scrabble game that sold. It sold for $7 plus like 11 bucks, I think, shipping. I'll check on the shipping here in just a second, but it is an incomplete set. I am showing any defects in the board, any defects, just general overall details. Obviously that picture doesn't want to load. This is where the box is broken here and discolored. So I want buyers to see any little defect. I don't want an item to arrive to my buyer and they're surprised. So the buyer actually paid calculated shipping. Bless up, I actually did calculated shipping on something. This sold via promoted listing. The buyer paid $11.95 shipping plus the $7 for the item. So I didn't make much off of that. I hate shipping board games, you guys, and I will not purchase board games and pick them up unless they are, I would say, more than a $35 sale for me in the future. This little doll is adorable. She is a brownie Girl Scout, F&B. Am I pronouncing that correct? I'll learn all the names, okay? She's beautiful. She's a 1966 brownie Girl Scout, 11-inch with shoes and socks, no hat. How beautiful is she? She was in an auction box. Again, I purchased this box for other things. I do not sell vintage dolls unless they're Cabbage Patches I think are interesting. I like American Girl dolls, but yeah, she wasn't something I would typically pick up. I was showing markings on the back of her neck here, showing what her hair looks like, showing how long she is. 7 photos on this doll. She sold for $15 with free shipping. She went first class, and so yeah, I made a little bit of extra money off of her. And when it's a purchase like that I bought an entire lot of things, I try to look at the overall buy cost of the box being $5 and what my sales price is going to be fantastic. It's almost like it's as close to free inventory as you're going to get without it actually being free. Pick up those basically like what's left on the table lots at auctions, and you can just part that stuff out and, you know, as you go. And then it's also going to encourage you, it's almost like buying a mystery box. It's going to encourage you to list in categories that you typically would not. I learned a lot about dolls on that particular box because there were like 6 or 7 maybe dolls in there. I also sold Wrestling WWE Heritage 3 and Heritage Base 2007 Topps partial card lot of 21. So these are 21 Topps brand wrestling cards, and these were free inventory given to me by someone that found them as a garbage pickup. So yeah, these sold for $13 with free shipping. And I just went through an entire box of cards and I lotted together the ones that were similar or looked like they could be from a similar set. So if there were any defects or anything, I wanted to get pictures of those. And they cost me, you know, like what, $3 maybe to ship. So a nice little profit there on an item that was free for me. The last item over on eBay before I show you the few things that sold on Poshmark sold yesterday actually. This is a vintage single stitch large Honda Red Wing No Prayer black t-shirt. This sold for $25 plus $4.80 shipping, and I picked it up for $1. So it says no wing, no prayer. If you see this Honda Red Wing, that is one of the more popular vintage Honda logos, and it always sells well for me. This is on a Hanes Beefy tee. Vintage t-shirt buyers want to know what the brand of the t-shirt is, so always show that tag. This is the back of the shirt, the Red Riders. That is also something that you want to look for with vintage Honda buyers. Love the Red Riders. dividers. This is showing armpit to armpit measurement, the length of the shirt measurement, and this is a close-up of me showing that the shirt is single stitch. My husband helped me pick this up. $25 plus $4.80 shipping, you guys. I mean, we over a $20 profit on one little piece of clothing. I will do that all day long and work from home and love it. And in that case, worked with my husband that day. We had a date day and we ended up both kind of working a little bit in the town that we were in. He stopped to look at a vehicle for his work and I stopped at the thrift store and he helped me pick up a ton of shirts. I'll comment in the descriptions. I will show you the vintage thrift haul where I talk about him finding all of those t-shirts. And it's because I talk about my work all the time and he knew vintage and he knew single stitch and made in America because I love you, honey. You listen to me. All right, over on Poshmark. I'm not sure if I included this in the last one, so I did include it today. This is a little girl's long underwear set here. Sold for $11. And this is another example of me just using the stock photos. This was part of that retail arbitrage pickup. And then I took one picture of the back to show the buyer sizing, because when they're just like small, medium, large or something like that, or even hosiery sizing, these are all stock other than that one. So it sold for $11 plus Poshmark's $7.50 shipping, and Poshmark took $2.95, so it left me with $8.05. This next item was free to me. That last one was part of the Walmart Retail Arbitrage $1 pickup, if I didn't already say that. This next item was free to me. It sold for $10 plus shipping, so I made about $7 on this. And this was a part of a lot of things that a friend of mine who knows that I resell had some clothing, and you guys have seen a few other dresses that she gave me sold. This is Gap. Oh, this front photo is not wanting to load. This is a Gap size small striped racer back maxi dress. So I'll just show you the other photos. This is on my mannequin on a plain white wall that kind of looks gray there. The buyer paid $10 and maybe, okay, there's a photo of the tag. Ah, there it is. So on this particular dress, I thought if I just had the front photo, I'm gonna have a lot of dead space once I crop it down to 1 by 1. So I took a photo of the front and the picture of the back because it had that cool racer back detail, went into my app that is PhotoGrid, did a front and back, and that is the photo that enticed the buyer to click on this one, and sold a Gap dress for $10, and the buyer really paid almost $20 for it once you're on Poshmark. So these, I sold 2 pair of pants that I have had listed for at least 2 years, I think. I picked these up at Marshall's as part of a yellow tag clearance, and I adjusted the price recently on these and sold both pair this week, you guys. Both pair have sat and sat and sat. I did not relist them. I did not end the listing. I did not sell similar. They both sold on Poshmark just because I adjusted the price. So my price was wrong on them. My price was bad. They had this beautiful flat lay photo. I don't typically do this type of a thing, and I experimented with it, and I can't say I'm gonna do it a whole lot in the future because guys, they set for 2 years. But again, it could have just been my pricing, because here's the alternative. Look at what pants look like when you hang them. This looks terrible. So I sold a pair of size 4 for $15, and it looks like they're both size 4. Okay, for $15 plus shipping. So that's a really good sale on both of those. Like I say, I got them yellow tag clearance, so I'm sure I'm less than like $3 in on those. This next item, when I found it, I was so excited and I thought it was gonna sell, and it has sat for about 1.5 years as well. So props to Poshmark for cleaning out some of my dull inventory lately. And I did go through there, and man, you guys, I slashed some prices. If you want to look at some of my prices that are slashed on there, I'd love to make a bundle, and I'll include my Poshmark closet down below as well. But this item, I've heard people call them drug rugs. This is not like woven, and it's fuzzy. I didn't use that term in my description because I was a little uncomfortable with it. I'm a little uncomfortable telling you that term now, but I know that it's a popular term. I learned that term when I picked this up, and a friend of mine said that that's what they're called. So it's this little poncho. Looks very Pendleton-ish, right? Other than it being fuzzy. It like had zero interest, and it finally sold for $10. And let's see, did I have to make an offer? No, I did not have to make an offer. So I got $7 off of that, and I probably paid $2 or $3 for it. And it sat in my store and in my office here for like 1.5 years or longer. It was a long time. So anyway, that is what sold over on Poshmark and eBay, you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope more than anything, more than just enjoying it, that you learned something here today. comment below and let me know what you did learn, because I want to include that type of information in the future. I know some of these videos are strictly for entertainment or to give you something to do while you list. I love that you guys are able to just put my video on in the background and listen to it while you list. But I love to be able to educate people, because that's how I learned to resell, was this free community online and especially on YouTube, telling folks, you know, like I say, just for free, what you've learned about reselling. So comment and let me know what you learned so I can ensure that I include information like that in the future. God bless you guys. Thanks so much for watching. And remember, treat your business like your business.